So here's the thing about Germany. You might have mixed feelings about living here. Some things you'll like.
I actually think Germany's really a rather easy place to come to.
And some you'll dislike.
I didn't know that stores would be closed on Sundays, so it's not possible to shop, even to buy groceries.
By the way, we're InterNations, the largest community for people who live abroad, with exciting events that bring global minds together. In this video, you'll hear real expat insights. If you've got questions about moving to Germany, we are here to break it down for you. Germany ranks 50th out of 53 in our Expat Insider survey, one of the largest of its kind with over 12,000 participants. What contributes to this ranking? What don't people like? Well, Germany is famously bad for not being very digital. For this, it ranks 53rd. And admin, you know, all the registrations, permits, bank accounts, and so on, can be a real hassle. For this, it ranks 45th in our survey.
It's a little bit slow. They still rely on like snail mail. They love their paperwork, real paperwork, no PDFs. But yeah, things have definitely improved over the years.
In the end, your admin will get done reliably, even if it is a bit of a pain.
And I think it's one of these topics where people find something difficult and they complain on a national base, on a national basis about it. So they say, oh, it's all Germany's fault. I think admin's pretty unpleasant wherever you live.
Luckily, there are AI tools that can help you with translations.
So if you get Claude, you can get it on your phone and you can take a picture of the letter you get from the Finanzamt or from your health provider. You can take a picture of it, upload it onto Claude, and it's really good at reading the letter. Much, much better than any tool I've had previously.
As you go about your daily life, you may have to adapt to a different way of doing things.
If you go to discount supermarkets, it's pretty stressful to have to pack your own bags because they scan the items very quickly and expect you to get out of the store quickly and move along. So yeah, you'll have mini heart attacks the first few times you go grocery shopping at discount supermarkets.
Another complaint expats have? The German language is hard to learn. Germany only ranked 50th for this.
The grammar gets me. Somehow it doesn't get into my mind. I haven't been able to really crack that nut on that level. But let's say I'm never thirsty or hungry.
At some point you should learn German so that you can, get below the surface and discover and experience more of the culture and people.
Moving on to healthcare, Germany ranks 36th out of 53. You might have some minor annoyances with it.
If you're privately insured, you can get an appointment within the week at whatever doctor. If you're publicly insured, then you need to go to a doctor that accepts public insurance, and also you have to plan a couple of months. If you're a new patient, it's going to take you a couple of months just to get checked out. I had an ankle injury and I needed to get an MRI scan, and it really took me 3 months just to get an MRI scan for a doctor to look at it and tell me what's wrong with my ankles.
But overall, the system of universal health coverage works well, and the quality of medical care is high.
You're safe. You can go to doctors, you can go to the hospital, you can get your checkups, and you know that things are covered for you without you having to worry about paying like an advance payment before the insurance covers you. So that's one major benefit to the system.
One of the biggest pain points you'll face is finding a place to live. Germany ranks 51st out of 53 for housing.
In Munich, it's very challenging to find affordable accommodation, and that's always been the case, and I don't see that changing. So that's something that people need to be aware of.
It's the same story in all of Germany's major cities.
The most negative thing I have to say about Berlin is probably around the housing situation, because there are no easy answers to that. Especially if you're new in town, it's very hard to find an apartment here.
Basically, the best time to start searching for housing is yesterday. If you're on the hunt though, here are some tips.
I would recommend to use ImmoWelt and ImmoScout. There are two sites which you can find a very quick accommodation. I wouldn't say the best one, but at least a good compromise for the very first month.
Settle for what you can get on the open market and then make as many friends as you can and hope that somebody is moving out at some point, and that's really the only way to go. because it is very tough.
The situation is better if you look outside the big cities.
If, for example, the prices are too high in Munich, which is really possible, then you can find better cost of living areas around Munich and have a slower kind of pace of life, but still easily get into work, for example. So I'd say that's definitely doable around here. Yeah.
Finally, don't forget to use your network, including expat communities like InterNations, to turn up hidden opportunities. Okay, now let's switch gears because there are some real positives here. It's definitely not all bad in Germany.
I moved here for love, and I'm staying because I want my children to grow up here. I think it's a great place for them to grow up. There's great education, and yeah, it's beautiful and safe.
One highlight is working abroad. For this, Germany ranks 23rd out of 53.
Definitely, Germany is one of the best places in Europe to find job, at least in my sector. I am an engineer and project manager in the space sector.
Of course, your job prospects depend on many factors, including your language skills and industry.
People are definitely complaining about not being able to find jobs, but once you switch to German jobs, then you're going to find a lot. For me, one savior was the idea of remote work, which helped me find other jobs located in other cities that I could work at.
There's also a nice work-life balance overall.
I think there's a great respect for life here, that life is not about work, but family is very important, friends are very important, and I think culture is taken very seriously here, traditions as well. So once you understand that, you can really enjoy the other parts of life, and that gives you that healthy balance.
A much appreciated aspect of living here is how easy it is to travel. Germany ranks 18th for travel and transit.
What to really appreciate about Germany is just like it's a continental Europe. It's like really central of Europe. You can go in a couple of hours. You are in you can go to Paris or to Venice or any other place that you're passionate about.
The cities generally have good public transportation. But one thing's for sure.
Well, the trains don't run on time. It's a myth that's really widely believed around the world. German efficiency is much talked about. The regional trains do run on time, so that's good, but the intercities aren't so great.
Speaking of getting around, Germany is perfect for anyone who enjoys spending time outdoors.
On the weekends, I like to take my kids out into nature, into the mountains for hikes or walks around lakes because there's so many. There's a lot of theme parks as well to entertain kids, to be around animals. So there's plenty to do, yeah.
Germany sets an example when it comes to sustainability and ranks 20th for environment and climate.
Also be prepared to pay a deposit on your bottles when you buy drinks at the store, and you'll need to bring those back to the store to get your money back. It's at first seemed like a really tedious errand to have to do. It's also in favor of keeping the planet clean, so you'll get used to it.
Finally, let's look at Germany's reputation that it's not all that friendly or welcoming. Even in our own survey, Germany lands towards the very bottom. It's 51st for ease of settling in and 50th for finding friends, for example. So we were really curious to know more about how expats feel about these topics.
What I really like is that normally in my experience, the Germans are very direct. What I don't like is that Germans are very direct. So it's at the same time the best and the pro and the con of the German culture.
A bit of exposure to German culture is good for a person, depending where they come from, but I think it's good for an Englishman. It's taught me to be more punctual, to say what I think, not to be over polite, to be myself in some ways.
Germans are harder to get to know and to make solid friendships. It's not that they aren't nice, it's just that it takes longer. Know that up front that it's not personal, but take time to really get to know people and then invest in people because it would pay off at some point.
And if you are finding it difficult to meet people, joining a community like InterNations can be a big help.
The expat community here in Munich is very welcoming, it's very warm. We are all in the same boat, so we know how it is to move abroad and how people react on that and how they can give you advice, how to find an apartment, how to find your next job or a childcare or whatever particular question that you have. You always find somebody who knows somebody who can support you on that.
Feeling at home is more than just networking. It's about finding others who enjoy the same things you do.
I would recommend InterNations to anyone who's moving here because of all of the events and all of the groups there are to join. There's always something going on and you can easily find your group.
You can find InterNations across 28 cities all over Germany. Click the link in the description to join. What do you think? Ready to take the leap and move here?
And in Germany, everything's well ordered. It's a kind of place where you quickly realize everybody's very fair and straightforward and honest. It's one of the best things about Germany, actually.
We hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you'd like to see more like this. See you next time.